Now, broadly, the narrative last week was around U.S.-China trade hopes, with softer-than-expected U.S. inflation boosting bets for a rate cut at the Federal Reserve meeting this week, and potential trade deals from President Trump's visit to Asia that triggered a cross-asset rally. Despite bets of easing broader trade tensions, geopolitical posturing by the West featured as the top driver of assets last week. Oil was the biggest gainer after the U.S. sanctioned top Russian oil giants. Benchmark Brent crude surged 7.5% to above $66.5 per barrel after languishing near $60 for much of October. The fall in precious metals from record highs was another big theme last week. Gold pulled back sharply, down 3% to below $4,140 an ounce. While cryptos have still to recover from the flash crash on October 10th, Bitcoin regained its composure to rise 3.4% to above $110,600. Now turning to Asia Pacific stock markets, it was a wave of green from China to Australia. Stocks surged on hopes to trade deals during Trump's first visit to the region. The confirmation of high-stakes meeting between Trump and Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping boosted Asian stocks. Japanese stocks were the biggest gainers, hitting record highs after pro-business new Prime Minister Takaichi Sanai was elected. Indian stocks were boosted by solid festive sales data, with both benchmarks closing in on their all-time highs. The Aussie index gained 0.7% after signing an $8.5 billion critical minerals deal with the U.S., boosted rare earth stocks and investor sentiment. In the Americas, Wall Street stocks ended the week at a record high, extending a bull market that's already added $30 trillion to its value since April lows. Easing trade tensions between the world's two largest economies is giving investors a fresh boost, but this week will be the bull market's make or break, with the big tech firms scheduled to report earnings. The Canadian stock index closed the week in the green despite the Trump-Canada fallout due to Ontario's anti-tariff ad. Brazilian benchmark rallied on hopes of a trade deal with the U.S. Across the Atlantic, benchmarks in the region gained. The UK's FTSE led the charge with over 3% gains. The German DAX and the French CAC also closed out the week in the green. However, the South African stock index fell marginally on high debt worries. Let's now turn to the overall economic outlook. In Asia, India still remains a bright spot. China's economy continues to show a loss of momentum. Beijing faces deflation risk, a recession in the real estate and consumer demand, while the fourth plenum shows Beijing's focus to overcome those issues. No concrete steps or detail. The ongoing trade discussion continues to weigh on Japan and Australia, with the outlook for most of the other regional countries in the negative. A slowdown in the global trade from U.S. protectionism is likely to offset any green shoots from domestic policies in Asia. In the Americas, the second longest government shutdown is now starting to hurt economic activity. Weakening business activity and a cooling job market will likely push the Fed to cut rates again this month and in December. The outlook for Canada, Brazil, and Argentina is also negative because of Trump's trade rhetoric. In Europe, the situation looks much worse from deepening troubles in controlling budgets. France is not likely to meet its budget target, with politics compelling economic disasters. UK continues to struggle to fill a budget black hole, and Germany is losing its shine as the growth engine. However, easing trade tensions could boost the region's outlook. Trump and Xi's meeting with this week will likely shape the next phase of the global economic outlook.